Hi everyone, I'm a little bit early, just a couple of minutes early. Please excuse my mess back there. I had class today, so yeah, the ladies made some beautiful vellum cards today, and I'd just like to share some of the cards that I was talking about and doing with you last week. So I'll just grab them over here. So one of the ones that I was talking about is how you can bring in, hi Diane, bring in this piece as a fence, and I just love the little house stamp set. So I've actually put the little fence there and put the little planters down here. So it's quite nifty bringing in these pieces a little bit differently to doing lead lighting with them. So I really like that one. I'll just share with you this little one. So this is stamping out an image as well from the stained glass, and then also using the die cuts and bringing in other colours that you've cut them out in, or you can colour them in. This one I actually coloured and coloured in the centre here, so it makes a sweet little card. So that's the second one. And then using the vellum and embossing it and bringing in that vellum pack that I was talking about last week as well. It's got some beautiful pieces in it like this, and you can actually emboss the flowers and then colour on the back. And I will, over maybe the next couple of weeks, share some vellum ideas with you, and especially tonight. So with Deeper Sympathy, this was a really nice one too. This paper's also in the vellum pack, and I have a lot of people who have said, you know, what can we do with this particular one, and the wave one as well. They're not quite sure what to do with the wave one. So the wave one you can just do as a beach theme or a sunset, sunrise, and I've just put that beautiful stamp, Just Breathe, on it. It's actually really lovely. So that's another one that I've done to share with you, which we did in class today. This is, hi Robin, this is another one we made in class today. We embossed the butterflies, so we did the flowers first from behind, you emboss it, and then we actually coloured the butterflies and then embossed from behind, but then add the rest of the colour from behind. But I'll explain a little bit of that when I'm sharing that with you. Now all these designs are in that vellum pack that I was telling you about. It's a 6x6 pack. We also made a bookmark today, which is actually beautiful. So I should have taken some photos of all the ladies. They all did different ones in different colours, so that was really lovely. So that's another one. Then, oops, this is a nice little Christmas. You could actually use this one as Christmas, and you could have Merry Christmas on it. It's quite a sweet one in the vellum pack as well, and it's also embossing as well as colouring. Now I love the birds. The birds turned out really lovely, and I sort of trimmed them off a little bit, and the bit that I trimmed off on here I actually brought over and used onto this card here. So you can actually trim. That was actually on like that. So I've trimmed it off and I've brought it onto that card over there. So that's a nice way of doing it too. The happy birthday, so this is really gorgeous. I've embossed all this, and I'll share with you how to do that, and added the butterfly. And then we have the die cut out of the frame, the thinlets there in this one here as well, which is really a lovely one. Now this one is just a thank you card. And we've just coloured the vellum in and added it to plain cardstock, but actually added a bit of texture stamping onto it as well. So they're all the cards that I made up from last week to share with you this week. So I hope you enjoyed that. I wanted to come on just a fraction bit earlier so we had time to share the cards with you, and if you haven't seen the cards, go back and watch them. Watch this video afterwards. Now I'm going to turn the camera down so you can actually see what I'm doing down here. I've changed the position and brought my camera down a bit lower, so I hope you all can see, and I've brought in an extra light. So we're using the Stamparatus tonight, and I'm using a stamp set which is got a beautiful sort of design that you could actually emboss with. So when you're embossing, I would use your stays on because it doesn't smudge, or your black embossing. So I'd use either one of them for your vellum paper. You could use your white stays on or your black stays on, and also the white embossing powder or your black embossing powder. So I've just lined my card up, and it's just moved a fraction, so I'm just going to push it back into the corner. Now the reason I've got some washi tape on it is because I broke one of my magnets. So be very careful pulling your magnets out, because guess what, they do break. So I've just put a little bit of washi tape just there, just to hold it down just a fraction while I stamp the image. So I'm just going to stamp this image in here, and I'm just going to rub it. This is a really nice stamp set, this one. I'll show you it in a minute. And I'm just going to hold it because it's going to need probably 2 or 3 goes, because 1, you don't want overly wet, and 2, this is a new stamp set, so it's a bit sticky. So I just want to show you on the Stamparatus that you can do this. And my stays on, just hoping that that is in the same position now. I can come back down over the top of it. Vellum's a little bit more harder for the inks to absorb through than cardstock. So I'm just going to go one more time, and that's the good thing about using the Stamparatus, is that it's in the same position and you're not trying to line it up. Now you don't want to have your stays on too wet, because then it will bleed out. So you don't want it too wet. You're better off using your Stamparatus and coming across 2 or 3 times on your design, because that's what the Stamparatus is designed for, is to get that really dark image. So I'm just going to press a little bit harder, and then I'm just bringing my fingers in, because like I said, I haven't got the magnets holding it. Now that's not too bad, so I'll leave it at that, and that will give me enough for you to do some embossing on. Now the other thing I want to share with you is the beautiful lace edge that I've got here. Guess what? It wants to stick to me. I'll just put that down there. I'll clean that in a minute. I've just got a bit of cardstock here somewhere. I'll clean that in a minute. Okay, so this beautiful lace edge is just out of our beautiful thin edges, and I'll just share with you some of the other edges. I'm just going to bring the orange card. Maybe you can see it on the orange, I'm not sure. This is the other one. It's a white edge, and I've just done this one on the white card just to show you that you can do it on the white card. But if you did this on vellum, you could emboss all this up from underneath. Okay, that's the card. And this is the third one. This is really nice too. So you can sort of see that I've started to add a bit of colour on here, and on this side I've started to do a little bit of an emboss. So you're getting that white effect on the emboss, or the colour that you can actually emboss afterwards, and it will come up with a tinge of colour. So it just depends which way you want to do it. Now the other thing about your vellum with the embossing folders is sometimes they work differently to what they would work like on cardstock, because the cardstock is softer than vellum, and vellum needs to stretch. So you'll get a different type of technique. So this is the woven one, but it looks like all little squares everywhere, and you would have to probably emboss the woven areas if you wanted it to look woven on the vellum. Now some embossing folders won't emboss at all because they've just got lines and not solid images. So just be mindful of that. If you just can't use any embossing folder, you can sort of see that it just does nothing. It just leaves a few white lines. Okay, while that is just drying off, I just want to share with you tonight also how you can get 3 cards. So we can have one of these cards, our bookmark, and one of the, which one? Where's my other card? The Just Breathe one. Okay. So how you can get 3 cards out of one piece of A4 cardstock. So you can get all these 3 cards out of the one piece of A4 cardstock. So I'm going to just share with you how to actually cut that. And this is the thick white cardstock because with vellum you want a little bit of support behind it. Okay, and I'll show you then a little bit of embossing. Okay, so what we're going to do is bring out our edge because we need the 6.5, which the half's right in the join here. Hope you can see. Okay. Hi Beth. Hi Penny. Yeah, so line it up at 6.5 inches and cut. This gives you your Just Breathe card. Okay, so it gives you this card and all you need to do is score it in the middle. So it does that. So you get this, you Just Breathe. That's just cutting the edge off. Then you turn it around and cut it at 6.25. And when you cut it at 6.25, this will give you your bookmark, and this one will give you your long card, which is either this one or the bird one. So you can do all different sizes, but you can get 3 cards or 2 cards and a bookmark out of each section, and that's the bookmark again there. Okay, so to do the top of the bookmark, we do that with our punch. Okay, so I'm just going to pop my colour away. And I don't know if you've all seen our punches, but they have a little clip on the back. Okay, hi Heather, and push the little clip down. Now these are just a fraction bit big, but if you lift it up, you can just slide it in. It won't go into the guide because the guide is exactly 2 inches and it's just a fraction bit bigger than 2 inches. So just turn it over to the back so you can actually see where it's going to cut. And then just wiggle it so it's right in the center, and then just come down and cut it. And that will give you your nice bookmark. So when you actually colour in, which I've coloured this one in before, you can actually glue this on like this. And I'm just going to share with you now how to glue that on. Okay, now I did share I think some techniques last week on gluing. Just visualise where you're actually going to glue. So I use my grid paper. So if you haven't ordered grid paper, I don't know if you know that you can actually order it as customers as well, not just demonstrators, but customers can order the grid paper as well. So then I place it down onto my bookmark, and I can see that I'm going to be putting the glue, I'm just going to get a pen, between this section and this section. So I'm going to be gluing up here, and then I'm just going to put a pen mark either side here. Okay, so now I know where I'm actually going to be placing my glue, because you don't want to place it on the back of the vellum, because if you've actually got colour on the back of the vellum, you could smear it, and then that wouldn't look very nice on your bookmark or your card. Now I like to start in the centre because you get it flowing and you can work out. Okay, so you can work out to that little edge and just work back down and work back up. So you've got a bit of an edge and you've got to just hold it. Okay, so I'm just going to come in here and come back down. Try to get that as smooth as possible. Now, I did mention last week, if you're not really comfortable with using your Tombow glue, then you can use a sponge. Now, it was interesting in class today because some of the ladies didn't realise our Tombow glue had two ends. You've got your thick end, and then you've got your fine pointer end, which is really, really lovely. So you've got both. I'm just going to get that little piece of dry glue off. Okay, so now we've got our bookmark and we're going to just place it over the top. So straight up under the line there and straight down and straight, push down. And just keep pushing down on the areas where you haven't embossed, because I've embossed the flowers. I don't want to dint the flowers or the leaves, so I'm just really going around the areas where I haven't embossed so that I can really rub it. Okay, and that gives you a beautiful bookmark. Now you can sort of see these would be beautiful as a set of bookmarks for people. So you can sort of do this. So I'm going to just share with you a couple of techniques on that card that I stamped out before. Now, a lot of people haven't got an embossing pad, so you can use your silicone mat, okay? And if you've got the an embossing tool, now this one comes out of our Simply Score tool container, but you might have a Pergamano one if you do parchment craft or something like that. This is what we call parchment craft. Now, to actually get a little bit of oil on it, you can rub this through your hair like you do with your pins of a baby's nappy. So you can just rub it through your hair to get that bit of oil, and you're just going to come down and you're going to just come up between each one. Now, you wouldn't do little circular motions on this because this is all little fine lines, okay? So you'll sort of just work each line and just keep bringing it over until the edge, and then you'll move it around and come back the other way. Okay, so you have to be not too hard, and the good thing about using the silicone pad is that you can press a little bit harder than using our embossing folder, the soft pad that we've got with Stampin' Up. Some girls put their tools through the vellum because it's they're not sure on the pressure, so this gives you a bit of a play that you can do it this way. So we're working on the back of the vellum on this, and I'm just going to do a flower so that you can sort of see. So I would come down from the top, and I hope you can actually see what I'm doing. I have brought the camera down a lot more tonight so that hopefully you can see it. Now, if you were going to not do just white work, this is what we call white work because it's all white when we turn it over. I'm just going to turn it over in a minute. Okay, so you can sort of see, I wonder if it shows up better on the orange. I don't know if it does or not, but you can sort of see here is where I've embossed, okay, which is really, really lovely. And also on this leaf, okay. Now also on this beautiful lace edge, because it's a really gorgeous lace edge, you can actually come in between each of these and do a little fine circle and make it a little bit more lacier, which is I don't know if people know where parchment came from or the word parchment craft came from, but it goes back to the 15th century, and the nuns used to do this in school with the girls, and they used to make cards out of that very cream vellum, It used to be very cream, which it was actually the lining of an otter, and it was stretched and plied. This is not from an otter. This is different paper that we use today than the original vellum that they used to use many years ago back in the 15th century. But it's actually making the vellum stretch. So you're making it stretch as you emboss it. Okay, and you can sort of see that you get this nice little lacy. I don't know what colour to put it on for you to see. No, I really don't know. I'm just hoping that you can see that there's all the little white dots there. So this is how you do it. Now if you were going to add some colour onto this, which I'm going to add some green onto the leaves, you would do that before you actually embossed it to start off with. You would add your colour to the front, because if you added your colour to the back and you embossed it, it'll come out white again on the front anyhow. So we're just going to add a little bit of colour to the front. Now the one thing you have to be mindful is that you've got to let it dry. Now the one thing that I forgot about with StazOn, when you use the alcohol pens on the StazOn, it actually blends it. With the Memento, it doesn't. Okay, so you might want to use Memento if you're going to use your blenders. Okay, I'm just going to blot that off a little bit, and I'm just going to colour this one up. And you can sort of see that it's different to the other one when you're doing it. So we're just going to emboss these up. And you can sort of see the white coming out, the green coming out, not white, I mean the green, and it's embossed it up. So you can deboss or emboss. You can emboss from the front, but it will give it a deboss. Okay, so you might want to deboss a bit of this flower in the back here and then emboss the front bit around here. It just depends on what you want. So I'm just going to share with you also, it's always good to put a light colour behind it when you're colouring it in. So you can go with a light blue or a light green. So I'm just going to add a little bit of colour in behind this flower. Now I'm going over the leaves for the simple reason is that they should have been embossed, and if they're embossed they'll be white anyhow. So you'll get this nice shade of white and it will pop everything out, and you'll get this shade of blue, which is what I've done on this one here. Okay, and on this one we've done, and this is coloured on the back, this one we've done a purple and a pink. So we've done it on the back. This one we left natural, and it looks just as nice, natural. Okay, this one we use a light and dark green. Don't forget to store your blender pens horizontal. And this one we also I did on this one 3 layers of the blue behind. Okay. So you can get the idea. Now I just want to mention a couple of other things, and I'm going to move this up. Hi Mum, who's that? Must be Melissa. I'm just going to move this up. Okay. Now a couple of other things that are really important for this month, and it is important because anyone that places an order during August, you'll earn if it's a $90 order, you're going to earn yourself bonuses for September. So you'll get a $9 bonus. So if you put in a $90 order, you'll get a coupon for $9. So depending on how many orders you put in for $90, you'll keep getting $9 coupons for spending. We also have a pack. I've put these on my Facebook page, I think, before. And this is for all seasons, and it's called Blending Seasons, and this is a really double stamp set. It's got holly in it for Christmas, but this is not in the catalogue. This is a promotion just for August, and it's only while stock lasts. If they run out, they won't be ordering more in, because yeah, they won't be. So it's got leaves in it for autumn. It's got a bell in there that you can use for Christmas or for weddings. Holly, it's got beautiful flowers. I believe there's quite a lot of ladies doing this on Facebook at the moment. They've been doing this. So if you're a demonstrator, you would have got your pre-order in August, and for July, I mean, and customers it's the 1st of August. So this has started, okay, this bundle. I am going to be doing a live Facebook party if anyone wants to take part of it, and you can place your orders in that. You can do it that way, or you can just place your order online and just text me and I can send you the hostess code, so you can do it that way as well. And if you're a demonstrator, just put your own orders in. Yeah, this bonus is not just for customers, it's for demonstrators too. So if you're a demonstrator or you want to become a demonstrator, please contact me. I'm happy to have you on my team. And yeah, so it's entirely up to you. Now, getting back to the time goes so fast and I'm looking at the time. Okay, I'm just going to pop you back down for a minute while I go do a little bit more of this embossing, just so that you might get the idea of what we're doing down here. Okay, so we're using our tool, and I'm just going to, on this one, come down from the top down, because I don't want to come quite all the way down, and it's like doing what they call like a little eyelash flick. So you're sort of flicking it down, and then you're coming lighter towards the black center. So deeper at the end and coming down lighter to that center. So you sort of make the petal pop out and then come down. Okay, so it's a really nice way of doing it. I don't know how else or how easy. I can't get this camera down any further than what I've got it down, so I suppose I could bring this up, but I don't know if you'd see it. So let me know. Put a comment on. Is this a better position for you tonight, or has it been better a little bit further away? For the ladies that have been on a few weeks in a row, leave me a comment. Say tonight, or yeah, just put tonight. Put tonight if it's better the way it is. If you can see it better. So you can sort of see that we've embossed this one here. And you probably can just see the white. Hopefully you can see the white coming from here, and then the full petal there. I will do a stem. Hopefully that will help you see something as well. So with the stem, just keep working it. You're stretching the vellum. You're stretching the vellum. I sound like we're doing exercises. Stretch, stretch. But you're actually stretching the vellum. So you're coming over very lightly to start off with, and just keep playing over it, because it will stretch as you go. So you'll need to do it a few times to get that beautiful white texture. Now you don't want scribble on the front side. You don't want it to look like scribble. So make sure that your movements are beautiful, flowing. Okay, so here is where we've done the white bit in here. So this is what we call a white work card, if it was all done in white, but I've got a little bit of green up there, but that's all right. So we're going to come in and do this little bit in here. Now Thursday fortnight, we have our card class happening again here at my home. This is one of the cards we'll be making next fortnight. And this is actually vellum on here, okay? This is vellum. So I'm going to share with you how to actually do vellum and bring in cardstock as well on this one. This is in our Thursday class in a fortnight. We're also going to be doing our Chrissy one, which is really gorgeous, and we'll also be doing another bookmark because we're going to get the 3 cards out of the 1 cardstock. Okay, this is so that you know how to do it when you get home, how to cut your card, because it's important to not keep throwing heaps of card away. So we're just going to come down here on the leaves. I am a qualified Pergamano teacher, have been for 18 years. I was probably one of the original people that started parchment craft in Warragul. So we're going to just come down. So I worked with vellum for a long time. The lady that I used to get my books from, Martha Ospinas, who is a Pergamano teacher. Actually, I did my certificate through her, which was really lovely. So we have, I'm just going to put this orange, I've just got to work out what colour. So you can sort of see we've got a green leaf here and it's coming up white. Now, if that's not white enough for me, I'd go back to the back and do a little bit more, okay? And yeah, just keep embossing it until you get it to the colour you want. But the idea is nice smooth textures. Don't forget these beautiful die cuts. I just love them. They're to do on vellum, on the edges of vellum. We in Pergamano, you actually have tools that you do all the lace work. But these die cuts, this is this one here. It has all little love hearts along here too, so you could keep all the little love hearts and put them in a shaker card as well. So you've got this one, and then you've got this beautiful one also, which I really love. This one in the book is it caught my eye straight away. I'll just go to the page if I can. And it looks really awesome in the book. So if you have a look in your catalogue when you're looking, it's on page 214, you'll sort of see it done in the green cardstock there, which is absolutely beautiful. Okay, that looks really lovely. And then the other one is the lacy one, which I just did on that plain white card, and I will make a card up this week out of that. So I'm not quite sure. Oh, here it is over here. So I just did this, but I could just see this for a wedding or an anniversary or even a birthday, and you could have some nice little flowers, vellum flowers coming up from there too, or even the butterflies. So yeah, I can see something happening with that. So this week I'll make up some more cards and share them with you next week. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and I hope you all enjoyed a little bit about vellum and the Big Shot. I took the time to just run these through the Big Shot earlier because that takes time, and it's our time that I want to share with you how to use things, and you all know how to use a Big Shot. And if you don't, please leave me a comment because I apologise. I will share that with you next week. So I hope you're all dealing with this cold weather that we're having at the moment. It's quite cold out there. And hi Diane. I love the vellum treatment too. The technique, it's amazing. I've been teaching it for a long time and really enjoy playing with vellum again. I haven't played with it for such a long time, and it's just really lovely. I just love it. So see you all next Thursday night. Love you all. Thank you for all tuning in. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you'd like to see. Okay? Catch you in next Thursday night. Bye.